When coordination turns into display. Coordination fails quietly, so many systems try to make it loud. The loudness can become the product. Coordination becomes signaling when the proxy for alignment is easier to produce than alignment itself, and incentives pay out on the proxy. By proxy, I mean a measurable stand-in, attendance, updates, artifacts, responsiveness, that substitutes for the harder-to-verify reality of shared intent and integrated action. The mechanism is simple. Uncertainty creates demand for evidence, and evidence becomes a commodity. Start with the constraint. No team can directly observe everyone else's thinking, priorities, or work in progress at all times. Time is finite, attention is finite, and trust is never perfectly distributed, so the system reaches for something visible. Meetings, status documents, dashboards, message cadence, these are attempts to collapse uncertainty. Then the trade-off arrives. Visibility reduces ambiguity, but it also taxes production. Every minute spent preparing proof of work is a minute not spent doing the work. More visibility can produce less progress, even while it produces more comfort. Now add incentives. If performance reviews, resource allocation, or leadership confidence depend on being on top of things, then evidence of coordination becomes rent-bearing. People collect rent by showing they are synchronized, responsive, and present. And because the organization cannot audit intent cheaply, it rewards the artifact. This creates a feedback loop. 1. Leaders feel blind, so they ask for more updates. 2. Teams respond by increasing reporting volume and meeting density. 3. The extra reporting consumes attention, slowing delivery. 4. Slower delivery increases anxiety, which justifies even more updates. Coordination under that loop drifts into performance, not lying, not necessarily, but optimizing for the audience rather than the outcome. Proxy drift appears when the measurable surface becomes the target. Consider a generic example. A team is evaluated partly on cross-functional alignment, measured by the number of stakeholder meetings and documented decisions. A rational response is to schedule more meetings, broaden the invite list, and produce more decision logs. The metric rises. Meanwhile, the hard part, fewer, sharper decisions that actually constrain future work, may not improve. Some decisions are split into smaller decisions to create more artifacts. Some meetings are held even when the dependency is weak, because absence looks like neglect. The proxy is gained without anyone needing to cheat. They simply serve the incentives. The deeper issue is capture. The coordination system, meant to support the work, captures the work. It becomes a parallel economy where visibility buys safety. This is why coordination becomes signaling at a particular threshold, when producing proof is cheaper and less risky than producing integration. Alignment requires saying no, narrowing scope, accepting constraints, and making commitments that can be falsified. Signaling requires being seen, being agreeable, and staying available. One creates accountability, the other creates plausible deniability. The system permits signaling because signaling is legible. It constrains alignment because alignment is costly and conflict-bearing, and the system often ignores the externality. Attention drained from the work, and courage drained from decision-making. This is not a story about bad people. It is a story about what gets priced. When coordination is treated as a visibility contest, attention is pulled toward surfaces. People learn the safe identity, responsive, present, in the loop. The meaning of work shifts from building to appearing aligned. Over time, the group's shared values can be replaced by shared rituals. The rituals feel like care, but they can function as insurance. Responsibility, in such a system, becomes ambiguous. If everyone attended, everyone updated, everyone was consulted, then failure looks like fate rather than consequence. Signaling spreads responsibility thin. Alignment concentrates it. Someone decides, someone commits, someone owns the trade-off. This is where the human cost appears. When the proxy is dominant, people begin to mistrust silence and overvalue motion. They scan for cues of belonging and safety. They become students of perception. And the system, without intending to, teaches that being seen is a form of being good. Meaning erodes not through malice, but through substitution. The measurable replaces the important, because the measurable can be defended. A disciplined reflection fits inside a simple question. What proof is being purchased here, and what reality is being postponed? In any environment, there is at least one metric being served. Meeting count, response time, visible busyness, number of reviewers, volume of updates, documented alignment. And alongside it, there is at least one value that can be erased by serving that metric. Deep work, candor, commitment, trust, or the dignity of quiet competence. Notice the feeling when visibility is requested. Relief, threat, or both. Notice whether artifacts are reducing uncertainty or merely relocating it. Notice whether coordination is narrowing choices or just multiplying witnesses. Reflection is not a belief. It is an audit of incentives, conducted in plain daylight. Coordination is necessary, but its proxies are hungry. They will eat the work if left unchecked.